South Jersey's official play-by-play home of the Eagles, Sixers, and Flyers.
At 0 point would I ever consider not being a fan of the team.
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships, live from the beach in Avalon, and it's a beautiful night. I'm your host, Billy Schweim, along with former chief of the Longport Beach Patrol, Dan Adams, former lieutenant of the Ocean City Beach Patrol, Jack Brooks, and current lieutenant of the Avalon Beach Patrol, Eric Wolf, and it's a beautiful night. This race was scheduled for Friday night, was postponed due to wind conditions, rough seas, and Dan Adams, it's great to be alongside you. We missed you last week, buddy.
Yeah, you know, Billy, I had a prior commitment, go Phillies. But anyway, what a great night for racing. It looks like the course is set well. There's a great crowd starting to form here. And I think this is going to be an open race tonight. I think it's pretty much an open field for anybody can win the South Jersey Championship tonight.
And Jack, we've seen a lot of great competition through this whole summer, but this is the big daddy of them all. This is like the equivalent to the Super Bowl of racing, lifeguard racing.
It absolutely is. It's the last big race of the season. There are a couple more races that we'll talk about maybe in a little bit, but this is the granddaddy of them all. You win the South Jersey Lifeguard Championships, you are a champion for the rest of your days.
And we also have joining us for the first time in the booth, Lieutenant of the Avalon Beach Patrol, Eric Wolf. And Eric, you guys won last year, so victors, the spoils go to the victors. Here we are in Avalon.
Certainly we are. And Billy, Dan, Jack, welcome to the 104th South Jersey Lifeguard Championships here in Avalon, New Jersey. It's a beautiful night, not a cloud in the sky, and we're ready for some action here tonight. Dan,
you know what it was like to win your first South Jersey Championship. I believe it was right here in Avalon.
In 2016, right here in Avalon, and it was a great, they hosted a great race that year, and I still get goosebumps thinking about that first win and that first championship and the ride Longport had after that, and what a ride it was, and what a, just look at the competitors, then and now, and we have such a great field out here tonight. It's going to be awesome to see these guys compete and to see who comes out to be the overall champion.
And Jack, this is the history of this race. It's one of the oldest races in all of the country, one of the oldest sporting events in the country.
The legacy continues, and we write a new chapter tonight, South Jersey Lifeguard Championships. This particular race dates back to 1919. And so it is one of the most prestigious races that you have in all of the lifeguard racing. Since 1973, it consisted of 3 simple events, the doubles row, the swim, and the singles. And the history will continue, and at the end of tonight, new history will be made.
New history will be made, and Eric Wolf, this is your home, this is your beach, and explain the terrain, if you will, for us, because right now the tide is coming up. High tide's supposed to be around 9 o'clock. We're right at the crest.
Yeah, Billy, the low tide was at 4 p.m. this afternoon. We're here on 35th Street Beach, so the tide will be incoming throughout the race. This race course is unique, what we have here in Avalon, compared to other towns, because if you look back, we have a pretty expansive dune system up there in our back beach, which can make it very difficult to navigate and steer that course, as opposed to other Atlantic County towns where you have Margate, Venter, Atlantic City, where you have all the high-rise buildings in the background, which make it easy to navigate when you row and swim. But here in Avalon, we don't have those things, so it can be a little tricky. You do need to know what direction you're pointed out there, which can determine a race.
And of course, Jack, we miss our partner, John McShane. He's home recovering from surgery. We wish him well, but I know he's listening on the radio, because if you can't be here, because this race was postponed. Usually Friday is when they have these races, and being a Monday, maybe we're going to bigger radio audience.
Maybe. Billy, you broke the ground on this, and I think everybody in South Jersey appreciates the fact that if you can't come to the races or you're no longer mobile, you can still listen and experience the races. You got some great broadcast team here as well, and I know that is because of you. You have really put this event on the map.
I appreciate that. Dan Adams has been here with you since the inception, and Dan, we've seen a lot of great racing, but talk about the conditions here tonight, because a little windy, but I think there's a little current blowing out of the south.
Well, the wind switch came out of the south. The current's been predominant coming out of the north to the south for the last week. Eric might have a better interjection, but I'm looking at this, and it's going to come down to who rows the best course. If they keep their boat straight, in and out, and, you think about it, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line.
Right.
So the better they do as far as keeping their course, the better off they're going to be. Eric, what do you think about the little bit of swell we have on the outside at the sandbar? Will that be enough to carry them to the finish line, or will they have to continue to row through it?
No, if I were rowing tonight, I would not jump back on that sandbar and try to till the boat. I would continue to row it through, and we're looking tonight at about a sustained south-southeast wind, about 10 miles an hour. So really what you want to do is, what you'll see the crews do is that they row out to the doubles flags. They will keep their bow angled a little bit into the wind to compensate for that wind and the current as well. But they will hit some turbulence out there tonight. You have a classic southeast chop out there tonight, which they will have to contend with.
We have Jack Brooks. We do have a former champion here, Eric Wolf. You've won a race or two, haven't you?
He just gave you the secrets. one of the biggest mistakes I see any crews make is they get out of the seat too soon, and then they can't control the boat or get back into it. You really do have to understand what the boat's going to do, and you have to understand what your options are, and it's split seconds that make the difference, isn't it, Eric?
It can make all the difference in the world, and races have been won and lost on those kinds of decisions. And what you'll see tonight, the low tide was 4 o'clock, and the tide continues to move up. So as the race progresses, you will see that sandbar get covered up. The break will die down out there in the sandbar. So I do believe that you're going to see crews row all the way through to the finish line that we see right in front of us with the poles.
Eric, talk to us about your 2 wins. I mean, how euphoric was that? I mean, I remember Dan when he won his first jersey, just watching the emotion, and he was overwhelmed with emotion. All the training, all the hard work, all the dedication that you guys have to get to this point, the pinnacle, and win a South Jersey, it has to mean a lot to you.
Billy, in 2011 and 2017, those 2 days were 2 of the greatest days of my life. And to know what goes on at this race here at the 104 South Jersey Lifeguard Championship, what a tradition it is, to know that the best of every single beach patrol, all 15 beach patrols in South Jersey, gather here tonight. Their very best competitors who are at their very best tonight. The people who come out on top, they are the very best that South Jersey has to offer, and it's an incredible feeling.
Dan, I was here for your first championship. I don't want to get you all emotional, get you all butterfly, the goosebumps in your body, but tell us what it meant to you and what it meant to Longport.
Billy, you being an alumni from Longport Beach Patrol, remember LPBP stood for 2 things back in the 70s and 80s.
Place.
Was last place beach patrol and lowest paying beach patrol.
Right.
And Longport's come a long way with both of those. And, the competitors alone, you look at Mike McGrath and Sean Duffy, they've been rowing together for 25 years. And it's unbelievable that they're still out here competing and doing what they can. But, Eric, I'm going to flash back to 2017 because that was the first race we hosted in Longport and the first live broadcast of the South Jersey Lifeguard Championships on 97.3 ESPN Radio through Billy Schweim in the locker room. But, Eric, I remember you winning that singles, and what a finish that was in that race. And it was just, let's talk about that last race you won in 17. Give us your play-by-play of how that went down.
It was, and to look at that summer, the summer of 2017, Mike McGrath, your guy, and I were a great guy, Mike McGrath. He's been great for many years. We were having a back-and-forth battle all summer, and I won the Dutch Hoffman 2 weeks before that, and Mike McGrath won the Margate Memorial the week before, and then we had the showdown there at Longport on your home beach, and I was able to come out on top in the singles row, and certainly, Dan, that night you won the 5 consecutive South Jersey championships, I believe, as a team, which is unprecedented. So on a night like tonight, and when you row these boats, getting a good start is critical. You're at such an advantage when you can row out in front. You can set the pace. You can determine how fast or slow the field moves. You can make a move when you want to. So one of the things that I will be looking for this evening tonight, especially in the surf and in the southeast chop, is who gets out front right away and who earns the right to dictate the pace.
Now, Jack Brooks, let's talk about the scoring, because you don't have to win every single race. You just got to score.
In every race.
In every race. You got to score. Well, you got to score in every race, but you don't have to win every race. But, obviously you try to do that. If you look over the years, you've got some guys that have won numerous doubles and singles, but you got to score.
You have to score. The scoring is down to 5 places, so it's 5, 4, 3, 2-1. So 5 points goes to the first place team in the doubles, and then if there's a tie, whoever wins the doubles winds up winning their championship.
All right, 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships is sponsored by McCann Realtors of Sea Isle City, 4111 Landis Avenue in Sea Isle. It's your number one stop for sales, rentals, investments, mortgage lending, appraisals. Call 609-263-7422. And by Blitz's Market of Ocean City. Try their famous breakfast sandwiches and their hoagies, gourmet burgers. Online ordering is available at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. And also by famous Manco and Manco Pizza. Visit them on the Ocean City Boardwalk, Summers Point, and at Citizens Bank Park. The first and last name in pizza since 1956. When we return, we'll have the racers, the doubles. We'll go over who's going to represent each city. When we return, you're listening to the live broadcast right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Attention, anyone that owes money to the IRS. Every day, your unpaid tax debt gets bigger and bigger from daily interest. The longer you wait, the more you will end up paying. If you owe $10,000 or more, now is the time to settle your debt before the IRS takes aggressive action, like taking your wages or property. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens,
All right, welcome back to 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships live from the beach in Avalon, New Jersey. Of course, this race is brought to you by the Soda Sisters Flavored Fizz, a dry soda bar offering extra pop to private and corporate events in South Jersey. Find them on Instagram and Facebook. And by Leeds Builders, over 30 years of building beautiful custom homes. Are you ready for your beautiful house by the sea? Call Leeds Builders, 609-822-4506. And by famous Dino's Subs and Pizza, Margate. Since 1964, everything on the menu is a hit. Let's go, Margate! It's a beautiful, beautiful night here in Avalon. Jack Brooks with me, also Dan Adams and Eric Wolf. It's a beautiful night. The conditions look great for racing tonight.
It
Jack.
really does look better than Friday would have. I mean, Friday rowing in a northeast storm. You know, it was a dry northeast storm, but it was really chewed up the water. A lot of people talking about rip currents, a lot of rescues. It wasn't the night for racing.
And now, Dan Adams, as we look out over the ocean, we see boats warming up, doubles crews warming up. We have a lot of swimmers in the water, but we're anticipating a real race tonight.
Yeah, and and Eric brought up a good point earlier about the doubles. The doubles row specifically, they're really going to have to pay attention to the wind and the course and keeping their boat into the wind and trying to keep it straight. But let's talk about the singles for a minute, because the singles has always been the start, the finish, and the turn. The start, the turn, and the finish. And that's what it's all about. And Eric, talked about that earlier, saying how important the start is. The start is super important, especially if you're one of the contenders, because if you can get out, it just puts you in a better place getting out to that flag and making that turn. Would you agree with that, Eric?
Absolutely, Dan. And I've always believed you can never win a race with a good start, but you can definitely take yourself right out of it with a bad one. And on a night like tonight where you have this southeast chop, these guys are going to row through some turbulence tonight. So it's very important to get out there right away and set that pace and take control.
Now, guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but Longport and Avalon, they've got different color boats than normal. So, Dan, you want to talk to us a little bit about the new boats?
I'll let Eric reflect on Avalon's boat, but it is a beautiful dark navy blue, the Avalon boat. Longport actually took delivery of their boat on Thursday, and a shout out to Seabox and the Brennan family, because they actually donated it to the Longport Beach Patrol. But Mike and Sean talked about it. They've been rowing a great race in the boat they've been using all summer, and they've been a contender in every race, won a few races, but they felt confident going into this race that they were going to do well tonight rowing this boat, because it felt comfortable getting that extra 4 days before today. And actually, I saw Sean this afternoon at like 12:30 picking up the boat to take it for one last little paddle to make sure how it felt in the water. But Eric, you could talk a little bit about Avalon's boat and what they feel or how they feel about it.
Certainly. Now tonight, the doubles crew, you're going to see Avalon row two different boats tonight. You're going to see the doubles crew row the new boat, the Captain G. Murray Wolf boat, named after my father. That boat's brand new as a few weeks ago. The guys have been out there. It feels comfortable. It feels good to them. So as you alluded to, whatever feels good, that's what you're going to row best in. So that's what they're going with tonight. And then Ryan Finnegan, the defending South Jersey singles champion and Margate Memorial champion last Monday, he is going to row his boat number 44, which is down there off to your left. You can see it ready to go there on the shoreline. So you're going to see Avalon row two different boats tonight, which you're allowed to do according to the South Jersey rules.
Now, they all still have to weigh the same. Yes. I mean, this is a weigh-in race, so they all have to be equal in weight, so it's not an advantage. This is about a hull design, about a new boat. I've taken an old one apart and put an old one together. I'm old school. I mean, cedar planking and oak frames. They're fast. There's no doubt about it, and the crew that can click really makes them go. I'm glad they're trying them.
Yeah, and you're talking about adding almost 40 pounds to these boats for what they're coming in at. Some of these boats are coming in around 280 pounds. So you're talking about getting to 325. That's a lot of weight. But, Eric, that's not uncommon for Avalon to take two boats to a race. I've seen it many a times in the Margates. I've seen it in the South Jerseys before. And it's all about what your rowers feel confident rowing in. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And in 2017, we were talking about that South Jersey. We used two different boats that night. I used my own singles boat. And what you have to do is you really have to make sure that you're comfortable with it. And if the boat is underweight, and as Jack said, all boats have to weigh 325 pounds, the additional weight has to be permanently affixed in the boat. And captain of the Stone Harbor Beach Patrol, Sandy Bizzacco, was in charge of the weigh-in this afternoon. Weighed in all the boats that are going to be racing tonight. He has certified all boats at 325 pounds, so we're ready to rock and roll.
All right, let's talk about the doubles race, which will be the first event tonight. At about 6:35, things will kick off. Brigantine, Joe and Brendan Savell. I got to tell you, I was a substitute teacher at Haddon Township High School, and he was a senior, so I would see him when I was working, and would tease him every time I saw him about him rowing in this race, and here he is.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've been tough all year. And, the brothers Savell won last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the two different brothers, but it's the younger brother in the bow, or I think he's in the stern, I believe.
Yeah, he's in the stern.
But, the younger brother, and he's, tough competitors. The Savell family comes from a lineage of rowers.
Yep.
And, Dad was a great rower back in his day. And, and you see that a lot with a lot of families.
We'll go over some of the dynasties and families, but Atlantic City's crew of Nick Gadara and Vince Grenice, Jack Brooks won the Margates last week. They turned in a pretty good race. They're going to be a crew that we're going to watch.
We were talking about never out, never in. They were really closing because there was some hard waves right at the beginning,
Yep.
and that kind of gave a more even feel than normal because people did have trouble getting out in that race.
Of course, Vendor has Matt Spires and Mike McMenamin. Margate's always tough with Bob Bechtel and Hayden Smallwood. They've been in the mix, and I believe they came in third place in the Margates last week, so you got to watch out for that crew. And then there's, of course, Mike McGrath and Sean Duffy. They've been, like you said, they've been rowing for 20, 25 years.
Veteran lifeguards.
Veteran lifeguards. But Eric, right? Experience means a lot in these races.
Especially on a night like tonight where you will have to row through a southeast chop. Your navigation and course are going to come into play. So Mike certainly knows how to steer a boat. Him and Sean have had great success over the years. Mike's a two-time South Jersey champion. Sean is still looking for his first one, so
right.
We'll see what happens here in a few minutes.
And then Ocean City, Matt Oves from the famous Oves family. He's going to be rowing with Kevin O'Sullivan. You never, they haven't really placed in any of these races, but they're always there.
They won't have the experience of, say, the Longport
Right.
crew. They're learning, and this is a little bit of OJT. But they've been racing all season, and sometimes you pop a new one just right at the end. This is your graduation day in a doubles crew.
Okay, and then Upper Township has Jimmy Nielsen and James Garrow. Watch out for Seal, Pat Scanapicchio, and Connor McNamara. Those guys are a good crew. And then, of course, Avalon. They're always in the mix. Gary Nagel and Dave Julian. Eric, you know those guys personally.
Absolutely. They won their first three races of the season, the Cape May County, the Besh and Callahan, and the David Kerr Memorial. They're certainly contenders tonight. 2 years ago, they were third in Margate. They were winning that race. They were winning the 2023 South Jersey. About 10 strokes left to go. Two boats caught waves and went right by them. That's what makes it all exciting, and they'll get another chance tonight.
And that's what happens, you guys. I don't have to tell you guys, but I'm telling our listening audience, Mother Nature, when Mother Nature takes over, sometimes there's nothing you can do about it.
The wave gods can be kind or the wave gods can be ugly. We'll see in a few minutes.
Rounding out the crew, Dan, why don't you take over from there?
We got Joe Tortella and Andrew Newman from Stone Harbor. From North Wildwood, we got Dante DeFrucio and Kevin O'Brien. From Wildwood, we got Pat Capone and Mike Tenenany Jr. From Wildwood Crest, we got Jake Klecko and John Steger. From Cape May, we got Zach DeVoe and Alex Cranch. And from Cape May Point, we got Garrison Swan and Gabe Servin.
He's been around, Gabe. I've seen his name on a couple of the racing programs. So it's going to be a tough race today. We're looking forward to it. When we come back, we'll have the start of it. I want to remind people that 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships is brought to you by McCann Realtors of Sea Isle City, 4111 Landis Avenue in Sea Isle. It's your number one stop for sales, rentals, investments, mortgage lending, appraisals. Call 609-263-7422. And by Blitz's Market, located at 21st Avenue in Ocean City. Try their famous breakfast sandwiches, hoagies, and gourmet burgers. Online ordering is available at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. And by famous Manco and Manco Pizza. Visit them on the Ocean City Boardwalk, Summers Point, and Citizens Bank Park while you're watching the Phillies game. First and last name in pizza since 1956. When we return, we'll have the start of the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships live from the beach in Avalon.
I want my best game.
All right, welcome back to 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships, brought to you by Soda Sisters Flavored Fizz, dry soda bar offering extra pop to your private corporate events in South Jersey. Find them on Instagram and Facebook, and by Leeds Builders, over 30 years of building beautiful custom homes. Are you ready for your beautiful house by the sea? Call Leeds Builders, 609-822-4506. All right, we're getting ready for the doubles. I got distracted there, Jack, because all the boats are actually getting into the water, Dan.
They're getting ready. It's game time now. It looks like the flag is out on the pier. It's not up yet, but it is out. So we'll let Eric make that call since he's got the best point of view for us.
Yep, Dan, we are on to 6:30 p.m. Lieutenant Ian Kaiser, the race director, is given the order to get the boats out in the water. They're out there in their starting spots.
Flag is up.
The flag's up on the pier on 32nd Street, and we're underway.
All right,
Here
the
we
flag
go.
is
Let's
down
see.
and they're off.
They're off.
Wow,
Let's
Cape
see.
May Point gets off to a nice start.
Let's-
Avalon just took a little water.
It is exciting to see them, and we have a long course down here. Going from our left to the right is first lane 1, our left, lanes 15 all the way to the right. It's a wide spread. They're really getting pounded by some of these breakers. I'm surprised.
Yeah, helicopter flyover right there.
Yep, from Jefferson. My brother Tyler Wolf organized that, so it's very
pretty
nice
cool.
to see that. So it looks to me, Billy, in the early going here, Avalon, Gary James Nagel, and Dave Julian are off to an excellent start out of lane 2.
Brigantine looks like a good start there in the middle.
Brigantine in the middle. Longport is pulling up. They look like they're out, and Atlantic City looks like they're out as well.
And that's been the tough crews. That's been the competitors that have been competitive all year. Since we got to the big 3 in Wildwood, they're the crews we've been looking at. The top 5 crews, they're the same, and it's very similar to what we've watched for the last 2 weeks.
Now we are north of lane 1. We do anticipate that the boats will be coming in right in front of us because the wind is out of the south, blowing everything to the north.
That's right.
Yes, Billy. Yes, what'll happen is what you saw, the crews all started toward the south end of the beach to compensate for that southeast wind and the current. So they're going to go out there, they're going to let the current and the wind gradually move them on course to their flag, then they'll turn, then they will finish up right in front of us and down around 33rd Street.
So Eric, let's talk about that current a little bit, because for the last week it's been prevalent out of the northeast and blowing to the south, as far as the wind direction was blowing toward the south. And the current has been really strong moving to the south. I was out in the water yesterday just down the beach in Longport, and I could feel it. And it was really kind of pulling to the south. Do you think it's made that much of a turn with just this southeast wind all day that it's going to push that much harder to the north?
It just depends, and this is why it's so important that you get out there in the boat and warm up before the race and see how things are behaving, see how the boat's behaving, how's it reacting and responding to the wind, to the current. And clearly all the boats have made a decision that the best place to start was down toward the end of the course, which I agree with. I think that that's the right move to make tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and you're going to see that's going to pay off in the end, because these crews, like we said earlier, are going to finish toward the north. They're going to get that swell and they're going to get that wind to push them in, and they're going to finish to the northern side versus where they started to the south.
All right, Dan Adams, we had a first event of its kind during the week in Ventnor. Explain what we had going on there.
We had the first South Jersey Women's Lifeguard Championship, and they actually did it in Ventnor this year. Ventnor hosted the annual Bill Howarth Memorial, and since there was no prior champion, Ventnor volunteered to host that race during their race and call it the Women's South Jersey Lifeguard Championship. And, what a race it was. I was down there, I got to see all the events, and I'll tell you what, they were spectacular, and they didn't cancel the race. The wind was blowing out of the northeast. The surf conditions were rough, and they did not cancel it, and Ventnor had no problem setting the flags and getting that race off. So hats off to our female competitors that competed in that. And Billy, I think we have one up here with us right now.
Right here. Let's welcome into the booth Becca Kubler. Becca won the first South Jersey inaugural South Jersey Women's Championship in the swim, and congratulations, Becca.
Thank you so much.
Becca, you I think I interviewed you after you won the Dutch Hoffmans.
Yeah.
And you had raced on Tuesday, and then had come back and race again on Friday. During the interview, you said you were feeling it. You were kind of beat up.
Yeah, it was Wednesday, Friday.
But how did it feel to win your first South Jersey Championship?
It felt amazing. I had a little bit of pressure on myself, mostly from myself, to come back and win again and make it official, because the Bill Howarth was unofficially the South Jerseys. So I was really excited. I knew I had some good competition, but it feels really cool.
I noticed in your swimming that you did very little adjustments for that race. It just kind of stuck to the race. I've been watching you swim all season. Was that part of the plan? You didn't have to make a lot of adjustments?
Yeah, I always kind of pre-plan my race course. We do a lot of practicing here. We swim in the ocean every day here, and the conditions in Avalon were actually worse than they were in Ventnor that day, so I was prepared for a lot worse than it was. And when I go out to warm up, I always kind of plan which way I'm going to go and how strong the current is and things like that.
And Becca, did you turn first? Were
Yeah.
you the first one to turn and you poured it on and there was nobody that came back, or they weren't really that close to you? I got to say that because watching the finish, you were out by a lot. But I'll tell you what, it did come down to a foot race between Riley Cornell and Jordan Richetti,
Yeah.
and Riley was able to outrun Jordan to get that second place.
Yeah.
Jordan got up out of the water first, but in the end it was a foot race based on where they finished, which they did finish to the south.
Yes.
And I think you finished to the south too and had a little run to finish up to
A
get
little bit, yeah.
to the course. But hats off to the women that competed that night. I mean, you were there, you saw the boats flipping. And these conditions, it was unbelievable. There were several boats that flipped during the doubles and singles, and what a true competitors. You had the doubles finish, you had Sea Isle, Molly Quinn and Mara Quinn win, Atlantic City, Juliana Grenice and Michelle Burwell in second, Ventnor, Sam Keogh and Charlotte Thomas. We spoke about the swim, and then we got to the singles, and what an event that was. Ventnor, Sam Keogh from Ventnor pretty much handily took that race and finished it up. And then, actually, there was a boat that Sea Isle actually was in second place and flipped before the finish.
That was really sad to see.
And then Longport was able to sneak in there and get second place, followed by Upper Township, Lorna Cornell. But, Connell, excuse me. But overall, Ventnor took the team title with 9 points, and it was kind of a three-way tie. But the doubles tiebreaker put Sea Isle in second, Avalon in third, and Longport in fourth with 7 points. But hats off to all the female competitors competed that night. You guys did an awesome job, and you competed in conditions that were way worse than any of the guys competed in this year. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it.
He's sending a shot to Eric Wolf.
I will. We talk all season long about the toughness of the female competitors. They do the same tests the men do. The women are really top-notch athletes. We've talked about bringing them out. They've had collegiate careers, high school careers, state championships. They swim for competitive teams. What's next for you?
I went to Bloomsburg University. I graduated in 2020 from there. I swam. And now I'm a teacher, and I swim for my local masters team, and I do practices with them, and I swim on by myself, and we do races every so often.
Now, in the pool, what's your best event?
Now or in college?
Well, there is a before and after. As a former swimmer, I know, yeah. But why don't you just take it and give it to us?
My favorite is probably the 500. It's always been my favorite. I swam the 500,000 and the mile primarily in college. I still do those events, but I try to mix it up a little bit now that I have the freedom to. So I'm really loving butterfly and a little bit of backstroke now.
I did the same events, and I can tell you my shoulders are no longer the same.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a repetitive motion injury.
My physical therapist said the same thing to me.
Becca, how many years have you been on the patrol?
5.
Okay, 5 years. And first year as a champion of the South Jersey Women's Lifeguard Championship. We really appreciate you taking time and coming up here, and we'll be following you.
Billy, we got an update going into the turn. We got Avalon, Brigantine, Atlantic City, followed by Margate in fourth. So there's our top 4 at the turn, coming into the turn.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a break. I want to remind people that 97.3 ESPN's live coverage is brought to you by Famous Dino Subs and Pizza Margate. Since 1964, everything on the menu is a hit. Let's go Margate. You're listening to 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the South Jersey Lifeguard Championships live from the beach in Avalon. All right, we're back broadcasting live from the Avalon Beach for the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championship. We're looking at the doubles crews coming in, and right now, joining us up in the booth is three-time doubles champion for Avalon, Craig Whitehead's with us. Good morning, Craig. Or good afternoon, Craig. Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Good morning,
Great
good
to be
afternoon,
here.
good night.
Great to be here.
Yeah, man, you
got a great view up
you
here.
won 3 in a row, so you know what it takes. What are the guys going through right now?
They're in agony right now. They're just trying to get every inch out of every stroke and get to that line. You're praying on your way in like this. You're praying for a wave. You know, it just.
So obviously you're going with the wind too. I mean, you can't. You obviously you got your backs to the beach. You can't see where you're going. You're just pulling as hard as you can.
Yeah.
The boats have now cleared the singles flag, so they are very close in, and we have a bunch. We have a bunch of boats really in competition. What was it at the turn, and what was it at the midpoint here?
You know, looking at it right now, it looks like it's neck and neck between Brigantine and Avalon, followed closely by Margate. Brigantine is actually up right now.
The Savell boys.
Avalon too, and it looks like Margate in third right now, and based on what I can see, and maybe Atlantic City in fourth, but it's hard to tell from here. It's not far off from what it was at the turn, though.
And we can see the boats clear now, Dan. I mean, you can see them right now. Brigantine has the orange boat, so we can make that out nice and clear.
Yeah,
Craig, you know what these guys are going through. You got a peripheral vision? Like, are you looking around, or you just concentrating on pulling?
So the way it is here, yeah, they're concentrating on pulling. You get Brigantine's on the other side of the course. I mean, you're just getting to the line.
Look like, Dan, the boats are all getting blown, like we said, all getting blown north. Because the wind's out of the wind and the current's out of the south.
Well, and it looks like Avalon's humping on a little swell here. Let's see what they can do with that.
This is going to be an exciting finish between Avalon and Brigantine.
And they're pretty far out compared to the next crew. But then, you know what? You got Atlantic City right here.
Is this
and
Atlantic
Margate
City?
on the outside. Atlantic City might be
look at Brigantine. They got a wave.
Brigantine got a wave.
Nice.
Up,
They're
veering.
They're broaching.
Yep.
They just broached in the water. That could open up the door for Atlantic City.
Avalon on the outside.
This is going to be close.
This is very close.
Wow.
There's waves that are coming on the course. A lot in play here.
for Avalon.
Avalon's catching a wave right now, but it looks like Brigantine's going to win this race.
I don't know. We'll see
I
what
think
happens.
so. They just get another one.
Oh, I don't
Wow.
know. They got the swell. Let's see what happens here.
It looks right now like Brigantine on the end of the course in a real tight race between Atlantic City and Avalon.
And Lawport just got a swell,
Wow.
looking like maybe fourth with Margate
Avalon
on the outside. Oh, Lawport broach.
Who's this right here?
AC in third.
AC in third.
So we got Brigantine, Avalon, Atlantic City. Followed. Oh, this is going to be close here at the finish.
Is that Vendor?
Yeah.
They just fell. It looks like Longport's going to get number four.
You got Margate on the far end. I don't know who's going to get fourth.
Guys, is that not a picture down there? Look at the Brigantine, all the beach patrol.
Margate and Longport fourth, fifth. I'm not sure which one finished where.
All the guys are picking up the boat, guys and gals. All the girls and guys on the patrol have just lifted the Brigantine boat out of the water and carried it on their shoulder. What a picture.
Ventnor sixth. Upper Township seventh. Followed by, it looks like, what's this? What do we got here? I can't see the side of the boat. We got a name on this boat?
This one?
It's a Crest.
Crest.
Seventh or eighth.
Stone Harbor, maybe.
So Savelle's, Joe and Brandon won. Avalon two.
Second.
And then
Nagel and yep.
And then Atlantic City three.
Bernice and Gadira with third.
There you go.
And then
Longport four.
It's four. It's either Longport or Margate. It was close call on the end. I don't know if we can get an update on that. What do you got, Eric? Do you have an update on Longport or Margate, fourth, fifth, or no?
Craig, what was it like for you to win when you came in, when you finally got in?
So
when you knew you won, you rode the bow.
The first year we won was actually my first race out of town.
Really?
So it was, I mean, I had seen other people win. So it was like following the steps of your heroes. I mean, it was amazing. We really didn't have expectations.
It's something you'll never forget.
We knew we were coming. Yeah, we were a boat that was catching speed every week, and getting better. But we were still young. We hadn't really had a lot of out-of-town experience. And, I mean, I was shocked while we were out on the course that we were in first place. And it was just amazing.
Craig, do you get a chance to talk with the crews now, the younger kids, and tell them what you learned throughout your racing career?
Oh, yeah. We spend a lot of time together. They do a lot of the work they do on their own. I'm not out there nitpicking everything they do because I have full confidence in the way these guys work. I mean, you could see by the results on the ocean.
Avalon put on a good show in the doubles, and like you said, Jack, you just got to score.
You have to score. You got to score it. There's 5 points up for grabs, 4 points, 3, 2, and 1. They score to 5 places. Scoring is important in this meet.
Well, Billy, look at that last week. Margate got third in the doubles. They got first in the swim, and they got second in the singles, and they won the title. So it's all about scoring in all 3 events. And Margate did score. They got fourth unofficially. It looks like they got fourth, followed by Longport fifth. So you got 4 teams that are in the hunt for this race right now. You got Avalon, obviously Brigantine, Avalon, Atlantic City, and Margate are all in the hunt for the title.
Remember, Jack, Atlantic City's got a great swimmer, Schweiner.
Well, that's the point. You still have plenty of first points up there, first place points. And I think that'll make a difference. And these swimmers, they'll battle it out. They're going to be neck and neck tonight. It's a good flat water course once you get through the break. I think it's going to be a race to the flag and then bring it on home.
Craig, what do you think on this swim? What do you think the time's going to be? What are we looking at for this swim distance and time tonight?
I mean, it'll be similar to what the curves were. I don't remember the exact timing. Probably.
Well, it's usually.
What's the usual spread there? Is it 12 to 14?
It's usually almost, yeah.
I think this will probably be somewhere right around 13.
Which, I'm going to throw it out there. Zach Vassar likes a longer swim.
Does he?
So, the longer the swim, the better it is for Zach Vassar for Margate. So, but Dolan Grisbaum has been tough. And, he talked about it in both times. I saw an article on Ocean City Sentinel, but I, listened to him talk after the race in Wildwood, and he talked about how he loves riding the waves and loves getting a wave and getting on that. So this is an open door here. I think anybody can win this race tonight.
Absolutely, and you know the Sentinel does a great job in race coverage.
Yeah.
Dave Nahan was honored at the Ocean City Lifeguard Alumni Association, and he won what is our Bob Stowe Award. He has been covering races 25 years, just a little bit longer than you have, Billy.
All right, Craig Whitehead, as always, we appreciate you, and thanks for the memories.
Absolutely. It's good to be here.
We're going to try to get the Brigantine crew up here. We'll get Eric Wolf back on. Let's talk about the swimmers, because this is going to be very competitive. And like we said, James Haney from
a tough
Brigantine,
competitor.
He's a tough one. Atlantic City, like I just mentioned, Dan.
Charles Schreiner, absolutely.
Margate, Zach Vassar is in it. Dylan DeWitt from Ocean City's been very competitive.
Very competitive, and you know where the race was going to be on Monday and then followed up by Friday, I think the little bit of extra break helps the swimmers quite a bit. They do get beaten up this time of year, but but they're good swimmers.
Talk to us about Tommy Armstrong.
Tommy Armstrong's got history,
from Longport.
You know, he's going to be probably mid-pack in the field here tonight. But I got to tell you, I just look back, and in 4th place in the swim in the Hoffmans was Logan Manning from Upper Township.
And you know what? He's next. I was going to say, watch out for this Logan Manning, because he surprised a lot of people, Dan Adams.
And Jacob Texter was 5th. But, you know, I will say this. Charlie Schreiner did not swim. His brother swam in Wildwood at the Hoffmans. Charlie did not swim. So that brings a different element and a different competitive edge to that race. It sure does.
All right, look at Avalon. They're in the mix. They got Dolan Grisbaum. He's one of your top swimmers in South Jersey.
Just got to score. You know, this is the key. The swimming points are the same as the others. Got to bring a swimmer in.
Now, Eric, you've been watching him. His first race, he came in second, I think, during the Kerrs. He was gassed. But that was his first race, and I'm sure he's been working hard because he's got tough competition.
Dolan Grisbaum, the 2022 South Jersey champion.
Right.
You know, to win tonight in the doubles, the swim, the singles, you have to have it.
Right.
Whatever it is, you have to have it, and Dolan has it, and he is a competitor.
And here they go. They're off.
So the swimmers
we have a female competitor, Bill.
We do have a female. How about that? She's not listed here, I don't think, is she? Reese? Is that Reese? No. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what to say.
they dash into the surf. They dolphin dive or porpoise all the way in. They get past the first break, and now they're starting the regular crew, and they're going to wind up getting their rhythm going right here all the way to the swim flag.
You know, I listened to you guys talk about it last week, and, you know, I'm not sure who was saying it, but they were talking about Joey Tepper. And when Joey Tepper used to go out, it might have been John McShane the week before, but when Joey Tepper would run out, he didn't run out. Joey kind of gingerly walked through the surf. He got out to the point, and then he started dolphining, and then he just took over and took command. And Joey won the South Jerseys 3 years in a row. But, you know, again, you know, when you get that lead, I think that's key for a swimmer, is having that lead and knowing that you have the lead, because then they have to all play catch-up to get you. And at least that momentum and your adrenaline is really flowing at that point, Jack. What do you say?
Absolutely, and there's no lane lines in ocean racing, so you can be anywhere you want to be next to people. And you know, a lot of that is jockeying for position. They're going to try to know where somebody else is. They know they swim these people all the time. They've been competing against these people. This is going to be an exciting race.
All right, now up in the booth we got one of the rowers for Brigantine. He's my guy, Brandon Savell. Big win, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
I've been teasing you all school year about winning this race, and here you are with a South Jersey Lifeguard Championship. How's it feel?
Feels amazing. It's just great to do it with Joe. You know, there's like no one I'd rather do it with than my brother. And
we looked to the north, and we saw all the guys and gals from your beach patrol lift you guys up while you're still in the boat and carry you off. That had to feel real great.
Yeah, it felt really good. I mean, it would have felt a little better. I kind of ate it right as I was there lifting us up. But yeah, it was amazing. You know, I've always like seen people doing it, and I've lifted my brothers up and stuff, and it's great to be up there finally.
Well, now you got your name on the trophy or on the plaque to say South Jersey champion, and what a great race, and congratulations to you and your brother and the Brigantine Beach Patrol.
Thank you.
Now, what was the biggest challenge of the race for you guys? Was your start, or was it the turn?
Yeah, it was definitely the start. I mean, in the past 2 races, that was the start. That's what got us, and it's what kind of ended our race early. If you get a bad start, then
you're out.
You can't really do much. These boats are like slow enough where it's really hard to make up so much ground. And
But today you had a great start, good wave.
Yeah, we were right in the middle of the pack. Avalon got out a little bit open water, but we were able to track them down.
Hey guys, Dan and Jack, we talk a lot about how people want to become, boys and girls want to become lifeguards at a young age. This is a perfect example of being a mascot, going to the beach every day, having your father, older brothers, walking in their footsteps.
You know, and we have, these brothers are representing Brigantine. But how many patrol members do you have in Brigantine?
I think about 110.
There you go. So you're one of 110 people that show up every day, keep the people safe, keep them out of a problem, and that's what lifeguarding's all about. And that is why these guys lift them up in a boat, because they're their guys. You are part of
absolutely.
a big something beyond yourself.
Brendan, I know that you get to see Mr. Schweim here on a regular basis. Now, did you graduate this year?
Yeah.
You did. And where are you off to?
Columbia University.
That's awesome. And you're going to row for them, or what are you going to do? You are
I'm going to be on the lightweight rowing team.
All right, awesome. Do you think you can do me a favor before the 2025-2026 school year? Can you get Billy a Brigantine shirt to wear to school and maybe actually represent Brigantine over there? You think you could do that?
Yeah, I got him. I got an extra small for him.
All right, Brandon Savell, I'm so happy for you. Like I said, I've seen you all year long, and it goes from fall to winter to spring, and you can just see it. His heart beating a little harder as we get closer to the summer. And congratulations on a big win.
Thank you so much.
All right, there he is.
Fantastic
Brandon
job.
Savell, man. It's unbelievable.
Great row by Brigantine, and once again, Brigantine takes home the doubles South Jersey title. And wow, it's just amazing. That's 3 years in a row that they've won the South Jersey title for doubles, correct?
You know, and we had Brandon on because Joe, his brother, is rowing in the singles. So he's got his head right now. He's taking a little bit of a break, a little bit of a pause during the swim, and then he's coming back.
We have 5 double-ups tonight.
What do we have, Eric Wolf? You got your headset back on, and the swimmers, are they still on their way out, or are they on their way back in?
I just received an update from our stake boat. It appears Margate, Atlantic City, Avalon are 1, 2, 3 out there in the swim. Still heading out toward the swim flag right now, so we have a minute.
We do have a few minutes before we take a station break because we want to make sure that we're here for the finish of the swim. But this is a tough race.
This is a tough race, and the swim's a little bit longer, I think, tonight because the tide's coming in. Makes it a little bit higher tide, a little bit of a longer race. And as we said, there's 5 crews that are doubling up tonight in both. That means one of the competitors in the doubles is also coming back and running into the singles.
So we're here broadcasting live, covering the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships. Of course, they are brought to you by Soda Sisters Flavored Fizz, a dry soda bar offering extra pop to your private or corporate events in South Jersey. Find them on Instagram and Facebook. And speaking of Facebook, we are streaming live on my Facebook page, thelockerroombillyschweim.com, and we're also on the X platform at LockerRoom973. You can check us out there if you can't get us on the radio.
It's made it so accessible, the X platform.
And Dan, we've been here since 2017, 2018, doing these races, and I gotta say, the coverage is increased like tenfold.
Oh, just the amount of people. You talked about it last week, how many different entities were at the Margate Memorials. You had NBC 10, you had the Ocean City Sentinel, you had how many,
people from the Press of Atlantic City, photographers.
There had to be 4 different reporters in that there.
We had several drones in the air from companies that are South Jersey Lifeguard Racing. This year.
Yep, and they publish it too. This is a big thing in South Jersey, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of beautiful people in Avalon tonight because this beach is packed.
And these races are exclusive to South Jersey. I mean, come on.
Absolutely, and it's funny. They have the New Jersey State Championship, which they always try and say that that's the biggest event of the year, but it's really not. The South Jersey Lifeguard Championship is by far the biggest event and the mecca of all lifeguarding, and that's what brings South Jersey together.
And Avalon's done a tremendous time putting this on. They've planned all year, and boy, are they pulling it off. This is fantastic.
I still remember Billy last year talking with Matt Wolf up in the booth. After the race was over, we got to talk to him a little bit, and it was just, how ecstatic it reminded me of 2016 and winning that first race. And, it's just, this is what it's all about. You look at this crowd, there's thousands of people here watching this race, and this is a Monday night. It's not even a Friday.
Great turnout.
But, you know, hats off to Avalon for once again putting out a great event, putting out a great show here. And this is what it's all about, to show South Jersey and show lifeguarding what it's about. Billy, what you do to bring this to the racing to South Jersey and give everybody an opportunity is unbelievable.
All right, you're listening to 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships live from the beach in Avalon. All right, welcome back to 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships, brought to you by McCann Realtors of Sea Isle City, 4111 Landis Avenue in Sea Isle. It's your #1 stop for sales, rentals, investments, mortgage lending, and appraisals. Call 609-263-7422. And by Blitz's Market, located at 21st and Asbury in Ocean City. Try their famous breakfast sandwiches and hoagies. Online ordering is available at blitzesmarkets.com. Or give them a call at 609-399-9983. And by famous Manco and Manco Pizza. Visit them on the Ocean City Boardwalk, Summers Point, and at Citizens Bank Park. The first and last name in pizza since 1956. And by Soda Sisters Flavored Fizz, a dry soda bar offering an extra pop to private and corporate events in South Jersey. Find them on Instagram or Facebook. And by Leeds Builders. Over 30 years of building beautiful custom homes. Are you ready for your beautiful house by the sea? Call Leeds Builders, 609-822-4506. All right, we're waiting and anticipating a very good finish, Eric Wolf, to the swim here. What do you got? What's the update?
Billy, here's the update. For the unofficial results for the doubles row, Brigantine wins it, Avalon second, Atlantic City third, Longport fourth, and Margate is fifth. I just received word from our stake boat. Zach Vassar from Margate and Dolan Grisbaum from Avalon are in a stroke-for-stroke battle with about 2 minutes left in this race on the way in.
They feel it, Jack Brooks. What are the swimmers going through right now, Jack? You swam.
Yeah, I have swam, and they are trying to keep each other. What I see today is they are really picking up the pace right now. They are in the final 200 yards, and I can see they're really stroke for stroke, but there's a little bit of a separation from somebody else is hammering it out.
Now keep in mind, guys, the swimmers will have to finish. They will have to stand up, run up the beach, and the first one to touch that finish line rope that you see right off to our right, they will be the South Jersey champion.
Hey, talk about a family name and a legend himself. Look who's rowing singles for Ventnor City tonight. You got Dave Funk bouncing back, and here he is in the South Jersey Championship once again. And how many South Jersey titles does Dave have? He's got quite a few.
I think he has 10, Dan. He's been one of the best of all time, and it was an honor to compete against him for many years, and he's back for one more.
You know, and here he is. He could be the first chief to possibly win a South Jersey title as the chief of a beach patrol.
Yep.
These swimmers are out there battling it right now. They're trying to get the same wave, and I am telling you, their stroke rate is extremely high.
They are stroke for stroke right now.
Oh, it's going to be a close race, man.
It is a two-horse race. Now you have a third swimmer up here to the north, but he's not in a good position because he is going to have to run up the beach and touch the finish line. It is going to be one of these two right here in front of us.
They are really, the stroke rate is very, very high. They can see each other.
You can hear the crowd starting to go crazy.
Yep.
Absolutely. And they're, the part here is, as we said, they have to come in, get into the sand, and then run up to touch the rope.
Eric,
there can be a lot of miscue.
Eric, can you tell? Is
Guys,
Dolan in the first
I do believe Dolan Grisbaum of Avalon has a leg up right now, and I do believe that he is going to win this if he can stay straight and stand up
He's
first.
He's going to get a wave right here. Here he goes. He's going to get a wave.
Fell off it. But he's got a nice lead here.
Yep, that swell gave him a good boost.
It looks like Zach Vassar's right behind him. Probably
Looks
about
like
three
there's
body
about a
lengths
four body.
abide.
Yep,
There he goes.
body.
There he
lengths.
is.
There he is.
There he is.
Wave. He's coming out. He's going to have to dolphin in.
There he is.
A lot of run.
He's standing up. He is running toward the finish line. Dolan Grisbaum of the Avalon Beach Patrol has won the 2025 South Jersey Swim.
Wow, look at all the...
Wow, here you go. Zach Vassar and Charlie Schreiner. Looks like it's going to be Zach Vassar in second from Margate and Charlie Schreiner in third from Atlantic City.
Names we've been calling all season are right there.
Very exciting race.
Now this will be interesting because if James Haney can get fourth here, that's 2 points. That helps Brigantine stay in the hunt for the title. So we'll see who finishes out fourth here. And Eric, we're going to need your help because we're not real good at telling who the swimmers are by their caps. So we might need your help at the finish line.
And that's another thing. In Margate, we were right at the finish line. We can see on there they have their number or their beach patrol written on their arm.
Yeah,
so you can see it. We can't see it from here.
And that was the same in Wildwood. They were right in front of us. It made it a little easier for us. But, we have a great view, a great perspective here.
Oh, yeah.
And what a great night. And the crowd has just gotten bigger.
Yeah.
We are looking to the south, and it's a sea of people. Big crowd here. Big wind.
Now that we know some of the places of the swimmers, here we are. This is a foot race right now.
You know what? That might be Haney. I'm not sure, but that might be.
It is.
I believe it is Haney. I believe it is.
So Grisbaum gets first.
If not, that's Haney. But
who got second?
So the top three of the swim, unofficial. Officials have to confirm this. Dolan Grisbaum of Avalon wins. Zach Vassar, Margate second. Charles Schreiner, Atlantic City takes third.
All right. And we'll look to see who gets fourth and fifth to keep you updated.
So, Billy, this puts the Avalon Beach Patrol in a very strong position going into the singles row. Second in the doubles row for 4 points. I mean, Grisbaum wins the swim, so that's 19 points. They are certainly in the driver's seat going into the singles.
And who's in second? Do you have a second place there?
So, it depends on if that was Haney or not, but Brigantine won the double, so they have at least 5 points. Atlantic City takes 2/3, so they're at 6 points. So Atlantic City is right in the mix of things here and Margate with 5 points with a 5th in the doubles and then a 2nd in the swim. So Margate is certainly right in the mix too.
We got to find out who that 4th and 5th were, because it's going to make a big factor on the potential going into this final race. But hey, it comes down to, you go to chance it, you win it all. If you win the singles, and that's what Mike McGrath, you remember going back to 2016, Mike McGrath just had to beat Chuck Gowdy, but not only did he beat him, he won the race overall and won the title.
And this is one of those things where did doubling up, is it going to hurt? Because you got some crews that are not going to double up. They're just rowing singles, and that's the Avalon crew.
Joe Savell, Brigantine, he's doubling up.
And you got Danny Rogers. He's not doubling up, but Danny Rogers has a shot at, he's not doubling up, but he's a tough competitor. And, he won that year in Longport. And, he's got a shot,
Ryan Finnegan, he didn't
absolutely
double up, and he can absolutely pull this race
so
off.
I was just saying, if Ryan Finnegan can get 1st, 2nd, or 3rd in this race, it should solidify Avalon in this race.
Eric, do you have an update?
We do have an update from the race director, Ian Kaiser. So Avalon wins the swim, 2nd place Margate, 3rd place Atlantic City, 4th place Upper Township.
Wow, Logan Manning.
5th place Brigantine.
And you got Ryan Finnegan has won the Kerr Memorials, run the Margate Memorials, and he's going to be rowing for Avalon.
And he is your defending South Jersey singles champion.
So Brigantine gets a 1 and a 5.
So they're at
they
6
score in
points.
both races.
Yes.
But you got Avalon you got Avalon in the head with 9 points. You got Brigantine and Atlantic City with 6. The tiebreaker in that case would go to Brigantine.
Correct.
So hey, it's going to come down to this singles race. And hopefully your man Ryan Finnegan's got it in him. We'll see what he's got in the tank.
Ryan's a tough competitor. The singles rowers have completed their warm-ups. They're getting their boats in position, and we're going to be underway here in the singles in a second. I have to tell you, my years of experience competing and watching all these competitions, the singles row is the most unpredictable one. The doubles row, you can generally get a feel throughout the summer who's going to be where. The swim, same deal, but the singles row, you really get a wide range of results throughout the summer.
Well, right now, the singles, we got couple swimmers still in the water. Actually, we've got, two swimmers in the water. And as soon as they come in, we're going to have the start of the singles, and then we'll take a break.
Yep.
But 2 swimmers, here comes one of the female swimmers. I don't know who that is and what beach she's representing. But we have one more person in the water, I believe.
Yes.
So, Eric, speaking from experience and going back to 2017, you knew where you had to be, what you were doing in that race. How much pressure is on Ryan Finnegan right now, knowing that where he needs to finish to cap this off? Like, if he gets, he's got to get 3rd or better, in essence, to cap it. What kind of pressure's on him right now going into this race?
Well, not to sound dramatic, but the pressure the entire summer for the Beach Patrol. But I'll tell you what, if there is one guy that can handle it, it's Ryan Finnegan. He is a calm, cool, collected customer out there, and he's the defending South Jersey champ. And I know after the Margate last week winning that, he is really looking forward to getting out there and rowing in the South Jersey on his home course.
And looking down there, I'm looking at him standing there by the boat. I just have a flashback to the movie The Lifeguard and Rick Carlson. You can't. I tell you what. Tonight I've seen about 40 Rick Carlsons with the mustache and the hairstyle, going back to the movie The Lifeguard. And hey, we spoke about it before. This is the greatest job in the world. To be a lifeguard, to work on the beach, to do this job. I was lucky enough to be able to do it for 32 years. It's second to none, the greatest experience I've had in my life being a lifeguard.
All right, the last swimmer has just come to the finish line, and so the singles is next, and this is where it all gets decided, Dan Adams.
It does, Billy, and you got a tough field, and we were talking about it before, Jack Brooks and I, talking about there's 5 competitors that are doubling up tonight. And then, we have the regular, competitors that didn't double up and just walked into the booth. Who we got, Eric?
Eric, guys, I want to introduce to you my good friend and the 2025 South Jersey swim champ, Dolan Grisbaum.
Congratulations.
Oh, hello.
Congratulations,
Hey, Dolan, how are you?
This is
Dolan.
Wait a minute, before we get started, Dolan, I remember you coming in the Kerr Memorials or sucking wind. You were, you hadn't even worked out up until that point. You look like a lot different swimmer between your first race and now.
Yeah, I don't feel that different, honestly. I can't believe I won the race. I was just like my parents and the chief and all of our guards. I was I'm hoping for 3rd. Charles is amazing. Zach's an Ivy League runner-up.
Right.
No, I was like kind of shocked I was so close to them going out, and then coming back in, I took a really good turn around the flag, made myself even with Charles, and Charles went kind of north, Zach went pretty south, and then I was like going in the middle, so I was like, hopefully for the best, win.
So, you look back at this year's second title now as South Jersey champion. How does this compare to the first one in 2022? How do you feel? Is it any different? Is it the same? What's your feeling? And how did the Beach Patrol react on this victory versus the first time?
Yeah, this victory is a little different. I knew I was going to win 2022. I had a really good feeling. I went into this race expecting to definitely not win. I gave myself like 1% odds to my parents. I was like, there's no way I'm going to win this race. So it's very different. And, hearing the cheers, like when I came out of the water, I had no idea where Charles was. I was like, hopefully, because I knew Zach was behind me.
I saw you look behind you. You got up and looked around.
Yeah, it's kind of, but yeah, it's different. Being on the home course is like so like different. The energy was a lot better. Like, I don't know. I'm still in shock I won.
And you raced. Your course was outstanding. You came in right where you went out, and you did awesome as far as keeping your course. Hats off to you. Congratulations, the 2025 South Jersey Swim Champion, Dolan Grisbound.
Thank you, guys.
You get to keep that popsicle, too?
I'm keeping it. I keep all my popsicles.
Dolan, congratulations, and thanks for coming up, and we appreciate it. Congratulations on a great victory.
Thank you.
All right, there he is,
Great
Dolan
cap to the
Grisbound.
season.
How about that? Is that unbelievable?
It is.
Jack, we saw him coming out of the race at the Dutch Hopkins. Did he look like he was going to win the South Jersey this year?
Probably not. But this is why you race. You never know what's going to happen.
He did say he felt the same. I don't know. He wasn't winded. He was not winded.
Because in the Kerr Memorials, remember Eric? He was like double. He literally fell at the line.
Fellas, I don't want to say it, but Avalon's moving their boat to the water, so that's going to tell me this race is getting ready to start real soon.
We're ready to rock and roll. Ian Kaiser, the race director, has given the order to get the boats out in the water. The singles rowers with their bow holder as they're moving out there into the surf.
Joe Savell is representing Brigantine, Nick Cadera, Atlantic City, David Funk for Ventnor, Chris Spires for Margate, Mike McGrath for Longport, AJ O's for Ocean City, Will Schulister, Danny Rogers, Sea Isle City, Ryan Finnegan, Avalon, Andrew Newman, Stone Harbor, Nick Ritchie, North Wildwood, Vince Fitzpatrick.
Flag is up.
For Wildwood, Jay Klecko, Wildwood.
There they go. They're off.
Ben Swan, Cape May Point, and Mike Fitzpatrick from Cape May. Here they go.
Well, let's see, Avalon.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh. That does not look good.
Tough start, but you know what? They're all tough. Mike McGrath got a good start, though.
The Brigantine, one of our competitors, just got spit back to the beach.
Mike McGrath just got an awesome start there, fellas.
Yep.
Guess what?
And also, looking at Margate City, Spires got out good.
Margate's out, Wildwood, Crest,
Brigantine is out of the race.
Joe Savell is out of the race. He is thrown right back to the beach.
That's the worst feeling in the world as a rower, when you get nailed with a wave right away, and that's what happened to Joe there.
Now they're still taking
It
waves.
looks like to me right now, looks like Spires might be out a little bit right now. Margate's, Chris Spires looks like he might have a little edge right now looking at this race.
All right, you're listening to 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships, brought to you by McCann Realtors of Sea Isle City, 4111 Landis Avenue in Sea Isle. Your number one stop for sales, rentals, investments, mortgage lending, and appraisals. Call 609-263-7422. And by Blitz's Market of Ocean City, located at 21st and Asbury Avenue. Try their famous breakfast sandwiches and hoagies. Gourmet options are available. Online ordering, too, at blitzesmarkets.com, or give them a call at 609-399-9983. And by famous Manco and Manco Pizza. Visit them on the Ocean City Boardwalk, Summers Point, or at Citizens Bank Park, the first and last name in pizza since 1956. And by the Soda Sisters Flavored Fizz, the dry soda bar offering an extra pop to your private and corporate events in South Jersey. Find them on Instagram. And by Leeds Builders, over 30 years of building beautiful custom homes. Are you ready for your beautiful house by the sea? Call Leeds Builders at 609-822-4506. Let's go Longport. And by famous Dino's Subs and Pizza Margate. Since 1964, everything on their menu is a hit. Let's go Margate, 609-822-6602. All right, when we come back, we will have the conclusion of the singles and the South Jersey Lifeguard Championships right here on 97.3 ESPN. All right, we're back here broadcasting live from the beach in Avalon for the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships. Dan Adams is with me, Jack Brooks, Lieutenant Eric Wolf, and we got the singles crew coming in. It looks like
Margate's getting on a swell there. Look at Margate on that swell, Billy.
Is that Danny Rogers?
No, Margate. That's Chris Spires.
He just fell off.
You got Mike McGrath right there with him. You got Avalon right behind him. This is a this is going to be a photo finish race. This is going to be quite a finish.
Mike McGrath of Longport just caught a swell.
And he's got one behind him. He's got one brewing behind him.
I think this is Ryan Finnegan right here.
It is Ryan right here.
He could get a third, Dan, and that could be really
caps
good.
It.
So, if he gets a third, that'll win it, Jack.
That's correct.
Chris Spears of Margate and Mike McGrath.
And Chris Spires. It's going to come down to a photo finish here,
Spires
fellas.
on a wave. He just fell off it a little bit. Now.
Oh, Spires looks like he's getting on it.
Wow, this is going to be tough.
Wow, this is going to be a close race. Looks like Mike McGrath might have the edge, but not Spires.
No.
I don't know. Who'd they call it?
That's going to be tough.
Wow.
Well, look, here's Avalon. And
Avalon gets his third. It caps the night.
Yep.
The race is over. We're back in Avalon in 2026.
Avalon Beach Patrol will be the South Jersey champs as a team.
Unofficially,
of course, but
Sea Isle and Cape May looks like they're in
Sea Isle, Cape May.
Wow, we got a photo finish there. We're gonna have to get that finish on who that was. That's gonna be a tight call.
Just an incredibly exciting row between Chris Spires of Margate City and Mike McGrath of Longport.
They're carrying Mike McGrath off in the boat right now. That new boat, Dan Adams.
Well, we'll see. I don't know.
I'm going to call our race director Ian Kaiser and see if I can get the officials ruling right now.
All right, there he is, Eric Wolf, and I'll tell you what, Dan, that was really an exciting race.
Hey, and it just goes to show you, Avalon put together a team effort. They scored in all events. Margate scored in all events, and it was 5th, 2nd, and possibly 1st or 2nd. We're trying to get that final.
And Jack,
official,
we saw the brigantine boat, Joe Seville, get completely destroyed. Going through the surf, he came back in and had to start late.
Brigantine had done so well in the race, and it's just the luck of the draw. You just don't know what's going to happen.
But, I have to say this. Joe Seville's still out there. He's going to finish the race. He's not going to be a disqualified or did not finish.
Yeah.
He's going to be a finisher in this race. And, hey, he's still a South Jersey champion. He got 2025 double South Jersey champion with him and his brother Brendan.
All right, guys, I have an update from the race director, Ian Kaiser. Mike McGrath of Longport has been called the winner unofficially. Chris Spears of Margate City second. Ryan Finnegan of Avalon third.
And there they are, hoisting the boat.
Wow,
Avalon.
that's awesome.
Avalon victorious.
That's great stuff right there. They're saying ABP. What a picture that is.
It sure is, and it means that it'll be back here again next season for the championship races hosted by Avalon.
So it looks like you have Dave Julian, is it, over there, and Ryan Finnegan, and
so the winning team, Gary James Nagel and Gary James Nagel and Dave Julian rode the doubles, took second. Grisbaum wins the swim, and Ryan Finnegan takes third place in the singles to put Avalon over the top.
That's the same thing Margate did last week to win the Margate Memorials. They got third, first, and second, and they won the title. And you guys did the same thing here tonight.
Let's see if we can get Gary Nagel and Dave Julian up here on the booth because, they had a really good doubles row. They came in second, and I'll tell you what, man.
Let's get that chief up here, too, man.
Yeah, we'll
Chief
get the
Matt
chief
Wolf.
Matt Wolf up here. But we got to get those two cats up here. They did a great job. They came in second, Jack Brooks.
And,
they did.
Looking back here, Mike McGrath, that's his third South Jersey singles title. His second one in Avalon, the first being in 2016. He comes back here in 2025. New boat, and they win victoriously and get a South Jersey title.
And that was one of the closest single races that we've seen all season. I mean, it was really anybody's race on a wave, and that is really what adds to it. You don't know how they're going to get hurt on a wave on the way out and how they're going to be able to finish on the wave on the way in. And tonight, picture perfect. I feel bad for Brigantine, Joe Seville. He got just thrown back by a wave, but that's the way they race. That's the way it is.
Wow, what a finish! You guys both echoed the same thing, and I'm just thinking right now that was such an exciting singles race. It had everything.
Yeah.
It was like
that was one of the closest, most exciting races of the season. And, you know, hats off to them as competitors.
Here comes the chief of the Avalon Beach Patrol. It looks like they won the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships. Matt Wolf, boy, Matt, congratulations! But what a year you have had! It's unbelievable.
It's beyond words right now. I'm still very excited about the team, the Beach Patrol. These guys have done an incredible job putting on the race, lifeguarding this summer. And tonight to cap it off there, you know, Dolan winning the swim is obvious with an upset there is huge. Gary and Dave, you know, a tough second, but they rowed great. And Ryan Finnegan, we call him the closer, closes it out for us, rowing for the team there and taking the third to seal it for us.
Not only did you guys just win the South Jersey Lifeguard Championships, you did, Dan, we've talked about this, the rescue that you guys saved, and Ryan Finnegan was one of the lead guys in the rescue.
Yeah, him, Gary Nagel, you know, down there in the inlet, and I mean we had 50, 60 guards there that day, but they were integral. We had a rescue, real serious run today. Gary, Dave, Dolan, they're all running down there. I mean, these guys are actual lifeguards. They are sitting on the stand. They're doing the job.
All right, well, listen, congratulations. We want to get Dave Julian and Gary Nagel up here right now.
Matt, great job, and overall, great event. You guys hosted an awesome event here. This crowd is unbelievable, and we'll be back in Avalon in 2026.
We're going to see same bat time, same bat station.
I love it. Congratulations, Chief. There he is, the chief of the his wrestling team won the group 1 or group 2. All right. On the stage with us right now, the doubles crew. Gary Nagel, Dave Julian, man, you guys are unbelievable.
How's it going, Billy?
Congratulations. Let me give you a handshake.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You guys, I'm telling you, man, you got to feel great. You guys got a second in the doubles, and then Grisbaum wins the singles. That puts you in great shape for winning this race.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel great. We definitely didn't want second, but it did the job for the team.
And we got Dave Julian up here. Dave, congratulations on a great race. You guys retained the championship. It'll be back here next summer.
Oh, yeah, we're excited for that. Not the outcome that Gary and I wanted, but we knew we had a big team behind us, and we did it for the team, and we're happy that we all were able to get on the board and come home with a W.
You guys been working out real hard during the course of this summer for this race?
Oh, yeah, I was talking about it earlier this year, but I think our preseason, this was the best we've done in our 5 years rowing together. We did 100 miles before that Cape May County race, so we actually got that done during the warm-up of that race.
Well, you guys, we'll expect some great things from you guys in the future. How many years you have on the Beach Patrol, Dave?
This is my 7th summer. I'm going into my senior year at TCNJ. So
you'll be back next summer?
I'll be back next summer. I'm an education major, so I'll be back for a
while. So you might be around. How about you?
This is like my 3rd or 4th last summer, but this is my 10th year on the Beach Patrol.
Spoken like a true lifeguard.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys. We appreciate it. Let's get Ryan Finnegan up here. Ryan, go over there. Ryan Finnegan, come on up over here. We're live on the air. We want to talk to you.
You're going off.
Ryan, I'll tell you what, you guys, your doubles crew gets a second. Your swimmer gets a first. All the pressure's on you.
Yeah.
What were you thinking going on your way out?
I just knew I had to score at least. I wanted to do what I did last year, but tough start. I knew, Gary and Dave put us right where we had to be. You can always count on Dolan on at least winning. And then I just knew I had to stay with it. The goal was to win, but, team title, so.
Team titles. So you know, Jack, you've said this numerous times in these races, it's not about always winning, getting one. As long as you score, getting 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4.
Team championships are won by scoring in every event and trying to be in the top of the pack. And that's what I think I saw today. There was a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure on the singles rower after you know where you're standing at that point. And I thought that you did a phenomenal job. It was a really squirrely start. I mean, you saw some boats, Brigantine we were talking about, it got kicked right back to the beach. But boy, where were you at the turn?
I was 3rd or 4th at the turn from what I could tell. It's hard to see. You don't really, want to look around too much. But I knew I was up there. It's one of those races. It's a race to the flag because the East wins. So.
Well, you certainly had the hometown crowd behind you today.
Always.
And Ryan, not only that, we've talked about this several times during the course of the summer. You're involved in one of the biggest rescues in South Jersey this year, and you're also one of the top racers for the Beach Patrol. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's the best job ever.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, man, congratulations.
Thank
we
you.
really appreciate you coming up here. Thank you.
Lifeguards for life, guys. This
and
is
now
for a reason.
let's welcome into the architect of this whole thing, Former chief of the Avalon Beach Patrol, Mr. Wolf. How you doing?
Fine, thanks, Murray.
Murray, I know, Murray. I got to call you Mr. Murray. You got to be so proud of Avalon.
Oh, yeah, they really put it together. The last couple of years have been great.
Your sons, you got to be super proud of your sons.
Yeah,
Both
I am.
Captain.
Yeah, I got
Chief,
3 of them.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm proud of all of them, and they're working hard.
You left such a legacy for Avalon and the people here in Avalon on the beach.
No, I did. Probably about 800 people.
No, you know what? I'm going to echo what Billy said. It's not only he left a mark on South Jersey lifeguarding.
Yeah.
Murray, I go back. I remember being a young captain, in my 20s and going to those meetings, and it was always the same thing. But, Murray, what you've provided to South Jersey in lifeguarding is second to none. And we're happy to have you up here. And what a great night. You got
much.
that boat here with your name on it.
Yeah.
How great is that to have a boat named
They keep
after
doing
you?
that.
I think you epitomize the history, the tradition, and the love of this lifeguarding brotherhood up and down the coast.
Yeah, I just stuck around a long time.
You're a little modest, but yes, you changed a lot of things. You've seen a lot of things. You've seen the upgrades of all the beach patrols, and you were a part of that.
Yeah, we had great kids, and the borough got behind us, and there we go.
There you go.
I'll never forget when we've had Eric Wolf up in the booth with us, and watching him win his South Jerseys was pretty cool. I'll never forget it. I'm sure you won't either.
No. He's won a couple of them, so it's a couple of every race, really.
Well, you know what? I think we need to get Avalon Council and tell them we're going to need a little more money next year. We're going to host another race. Why don't we get some more money for the Avalon
No,
Beach
they don't
Patrol?
All right, former chief of the Avalon Beach Patrol, Murray Wolf there, and we're going to bring in the singles champion for the South Jersey race. We're going to bring up Longport's Mike McGrath and get him up here and talk about the race because he was rowing a new boat. And Mike, congratulations on a big win for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. How's your new boat? How's your new toy?
It looks great. It rows well. We didn't get a great chance to row it in doubles, though. We took on a little bit of water, so it was a little bit heavier than we're used to.
That happens. I mean, it's Mother Nature plays a role, Dan.
Absolutely. And, Mike, we were talking about it earlier right after the race finished. You won your first South Jersey title here in 2016, which capped the night and brought Longport its first team title. How do you compare winning tonight versus your first and your second title? Is there any difference? How does it feel tonight? How do you feel about it?
The first one was always the best.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot more emotion in that one, that being the first ever for our beach patrol. And, Dan.
Yeah. The emotions
He's getting emotional, but that's fine because that's what this race does to you, Jack.
If you have a guy that's not emotional after a race and you don't have a real competitor, I think that's all part of it. The thrill of victory, the emotions take over, and I'll tell you, this is an electrifying event today, and we saw it. I mean, this has been a fantastic evening.
Well, we know Mike McGrath is looking down on us, and he was in your boat with you tonight, and he was pushing you along just like he was back in 2016. And, he's looking upon you and the Beach Patrol and what you've done, and he's proud of your accomplishments, as we all are. And it's just good to see you win another race here tonight, and hats off to you. You still got it, and you're still there, and you're still a competitor.
I will say, Dan, there's one thing we forgot on that boat, and I think it hurt us in doubles. There's a shamrock missing from the front of the boat. We didn't get on. So...
well, that'll be coming, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
Get on there as soon as possible.
Mike, congratulations on a great race, and I guess we'll see you at the Goudies. It's the last one of the summer.
I'll be there.
I hate to say it.
I'll be there.
Congratulations.
You got it, Mike. Congrats.
Well, I got to tell you, it looks like we'll be back here in Avalon next year.
Yeah, we will, Billy. And let's recap. Let's recap because we talked about the scoring and how important it is to score in all three events. And here we are with, Margate Memorials last week. Margate scored the same exact event, same exact score that Avalon did here tonight.
Oh, is that right?
And here we are. Avalon wins the title with the same event, same scoring as last week in Margate.
That's amazing to me because, there's so much chance that comes into this. Yeah. But to be I think they're consistent. These are really, really great top-notch rowers. There's always going to be some battles. It was interesting to me to hear, Grisbaum say, I didn't plan on winning, but he did by default. That is just the magic of these races.
And Eric, I got to tell you, when watching the singles come in, I'm looking at the Avalon boat because I know if they get third, it's going to seal the deal for Avalon in general for the race, and it did.
Yeah, all three races tonight were very, very exciting. Certainly Ryan stepped up there in the singles row, took third to clinch the team championship for us, and congratulations to our South Jersey champions this year, Joe Seville and Brandon Seville from Brigantine winning the doubles, Dolan Grisbaum from Avalon winning the singles, and Mike McGrath from Longport winning the singles.
All right, you're listening to 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the 2025 Lifeguard Championships live from the beach in Avalon, brought to you by McCann Realtors, Blitz's Market, located at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City, Manco and Manco Pizza at Citizens Bank Park, Summers Point, Ocean City Boardwalk, and by Soda Sisters Flavored Fizz. Find them on Instagram and Facebook by Leeds Builders. Over 30 years of building beautiful custom homes. Call Leeds Builders at 609-822-4506. And by Famous Dino's Subs and Pizza Margate since 1964. Everything on that menu is a hit. 609-822-6602. Well, when we return, we'll have the awards ceremony. You're listening to live coverage of 97.3 ESPN's live broadcast of the South Jersey Lifeguard Championships right here in Avalon. All right, we're back here live on the beach in Avalon for the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships. I'm Billy Schweim, along with former chief of the Longport Beach Patrol, Dan Adams, former lieutenant of the Ocean City Beach Patrol, Jack Brooks, and current lieutenant of the Avalon Beach Patrol, Eric Wolf. I want to thank our sponsors, Jack. Once again, without them, we wouldn't be on the air.
Where would we be? You know, and they sponsored all season long. We got McCann Realtors, and I'll tell you, Blitz's Market, they turned out a great spread for us for our Lifeguard Alumni Association at the Ocean City, also a sponsor of this. Manco and Manco Pizza, I mean, what's better than that? I had that last week. And then we also have Soda Sisters, Flavored Fizz, a dry soda bar offering an excellent pop. And then Leeds Builders. I mean, I dream about building a house right here on the beautiful Avalon shores.
I've seen some of his work.
Oh, they're beautiful, yeah. And then Famous Dino's. I mean, Margate tradition since 1964. How can you beat that?
Without our advertisers, we wouldn't be on the air. And of course, they're playing the national anthem right now, so I want to keep it down. But what a race, and the wind is starting to pick up. But we're going to have the results of the race here in a few minutes, right from the stand. We're literally right on the water's edge here, Dan. It's unbelievable. The tide's coming up, and we just got this race in.
Eric Wolf said it would be up here by the end of the singles. We'd be sitting in the water. So here we are. We're in the water.
Guys, it's a good thing we moved our platform back, or we'd be in the ocean right now.
Good call. And you know, we've got the national anthem, the setting sun, a victory in Avalon. What could be a better evening?
What could be better? 2026 in Avalon.
Well, you know what? And I'll say this: God bless America, and God bless the Avalon Beach Patrol tonight, because the good Lord was right with you, and they were very spirited and gave you what needed to be done tonight to assure that this victory happened.
Hey,
100%.
Our guys worked very, very hard, and congratulations to my brother, Chief Matt Wolf, on another South Jersey championship, who he's done an incredible job in his brief tenure as our Beach Patrol chief, and continuing the tradition that my father, Captain G. Murray Wolf, set for many years.
Hey, Eric, I want to thank you so much. I mean, you guys did a wonderful job putting on the show, but also giving us total access, and it went off without a hitch, and that's because of the preparation that you had for this race with us and getting this all squared away, making sure that we needed everything, got everything, and I can't thank you enough, and look forward to another race with you, man.
This has been fantastic, guys, and congratulations to our race director, Ian Kaiser, as well, who put in some very long hours this past week getting everything together after what we had to deal with over the weekend. But he did a great job, and the guys pulled it off.
You guys got to print up programs. You got to, setting the flags. There's a lot of I mean, I know Dan Adam knows because he did it. He is a chief in Longport, but it's not easy.
But, it's funny you just say that, Billy, because just being the chief or the captain of a beach patrol, everybody thinks it's a cakewalk and thinks it's an easy job. And let me tell you, it's not. And it has changed tenfold over the years. It is so much different now than it was in 1994 when I took over in Longport. Compared to 2025, it's a lot different now than it was in 1994.
Or 1974 when I was a rookie lifeguard. It's changed a little bit too. Wooden boats and iron men back then.
All right, you guys, they're reading they're reading off the winners, but we're gonna have to take another break, and we'll be back. You're listening to 97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championship live from the beach in Avalon. So we're gonna stick around, and obviously they're giving out the awards. Jack Brooks.
They are. And then, this is where people get their moment of glory. All the Avalon locals are down here. I mean, they're crowded around this award ceremony. You can hear everything. They've got a great broadcast system, and you can just see people beaming from ear to ear that Avalon has won this.
Yes, we can hear it in the background. I can hear it through the headset, which is good. I got to take my hat off to Avalon. Eric, you guys did a fabulous job. I mean, I don't want to sound go overboard with this, but you guys did a great job.
Hey, congratulations to all the competitors tonight as well. As you know, throughout the summer, it's a grind. These guys are working very hard during the day on the beach, and then for them to train and put in the work that they do, it's a credit to them, and it's a credit to all lifeguards in South Jersey.
And these trophies that they're getting right now, the top three are getting their first, second, and third place trophies. That will sit on somebody's shelf the rest of their life. I remember how proud I was when I was a singles competitor. Got a trophy, and I mean, it still sits in my home, and I'm proud to have it. I think that's why we say lifeguards for life. And knowing that we just had our alumni, and I know Margate did, Ventnor, Longport, everybody has their alumni association. The stories that come from that and the camaraderie of having been a lifeguard, that is why we say lifeguards for life. And it is. It's about the races, the race evenings. This is just kind of like the icing on top of the cake. But the tragedies that happen or we prevent, the rescues, the lost children, the really hairy things that go on, that's the daily life. And from a 16-year-old all the way up, there are people that are ready, prepared, and trained in South Jersey.
And there's Gary Nagel and Dave Julian getting their plaques. Look at that. That's a picture right there. Beautiful.
And there they are. Now to Brigantine is Joe Savell and Brendan Savell as the 2025 double South Jersey championships. But, you know, I got to echo on that because, and Eric will tell you because he was at the meetings when I was the president of the South Jersey Chiefs, sometimes you had to bring everybody back into the room and just say, hey, what are we here for and what is it all about? Yes, this is great and the racing is great and this is important, but in the end it's all about life-saving and a tradition in life-saving, and that tradition is that everybody goes home at the end of the day, that everybody made it safely from your beach and there was no tragic events. And that's what these lifeguards are here for. That's what they do each and every day. And how many prevented saves that they had go unnoticed because they don't make the paper, they don't make the news media. But if it wasn't for their skills and their job, so many lives would have been lost without them. So.
You know, that's it. You can't measure it by how many rescues did you do. It's how many accidents did you prevent.
Absolutely.
And that's we see it on unguarded beaches. In the last few weeks where we've had real bad rip currents, we got some predicted this coming week as well. That is something where if they do not swim in front of a lifeguard, they are literally taking their lives in their own hands, and there's nobody else to come.
So
and we see that.
Guys, as I'm watching you guys talk, I'm seeing the sunset. It's like it's August. What's today? August 11th.
August 11th.
So
the shadows are
longer. And next
the school bus schedule's coming.
Yeah. And next week, Art, we're going to be in a vendor for the galleys, which I mean, it's almost like bittersweet. Covering the galleys. I'll be there getting my last interviews for the last beach patrol of the summer.
Well, when the Gaudies come, it's all coming to an end. But it's been another beautiful summer down here at the Jersey Shore, and finalized by this evening here at the South Jersey.
Did you get yourself a mug from the Gaudies? You got a mug, right, Jack?
I have, yeah.
How about you, Dan? Did you get a mug?
I do not.
Billy, they always have some very fun T-shirts that they give away at the Gaudi Memorial. It's a tradition at the Gaudi.
Oh, that's Reggie Howard does that, man.
Definitely a fun race, but you set the schedule from the rise and fall of the tide to the come and go of the school bus. That's the season, that's the way we look at it, and eagerly we anticipate what's going to happen next spring. And as you heard, some of these crews, they had their best preseason training, they had their best early season stuff. This has become something where they're breaking ice to row on the bay sometimes.
Ryan Finnegan just got called up to receive his plaque. He came in third, and that was a very instrumental spot for him to finish secure the win.
And we said that, Eric and I were talking right before the single started, and we said if Ryan gets third or better, they capped off the night and they won the event, and they did that, and that's what it took.
Chris Spires getting his plaque. We had about 4 minutes left in this broadcast. Let's go down. Let's go team. Who won the? We know Avalon won it. Who came in second again? Eric Wolf.
As a team, let's see.
I got Margate.
Yeah,
with 9 points.
I believe it was Margate City.
And then followed by Longport with 7.
Yes, I believe that's how it wrapped up.
The same beach patrols over the last few years, Jack, have been in the mix. I mean, we want to see something from Wildwood Crest, Jay Klecko. We want to see something from, maybe Kate May. Love to see that. Ventnor, of course, they got the Funk brothers.
Oh yeah.
Dave Funk. Yeah. He raced today, but it's a testament to the guys and gals on the beach patrols that win these races.
100%.
And Mike McGrath just got his award for first place, and let's just talk about him for a second and the emotion that he showed up here.
He did.
And
he did.
You want to talk about someone that was thinking about his dad and thinking about what his dad, the mark that he left. Hey, Eric, how many races did you row against Mike McGrath Sr. over the years? And how many around the island rows and how many different events?
Many times. And Dan, as you know, it appears that Mike McGrath really likes rowing here in Avalon.
Yeah, he does. He sure does.
So
he sure does.
be careful. Next year, you know, it might be that year that they bring it back to Longport, you know.
And Mike, just for our audience tonight, Mike did win his first South Jersey championship in 2016 here on Avalon's beach. So Mike's had some pretty good success here in Avalon.
Absolutely.
All right, so they're still giving out the trophies, and they got the big cup. Jack Brooks, the big cup is going to stay here in Avalon.
It'll stay here in Avalon, and I'm sure there'll be a little bit more detail on this Saturday's.
Let me tell you something. If that cup could talk,
it's like the Stanley Cup. So
right, Eric?
There you go.
That cup has seen some very good times in a lot of different short towns over the years.
And it's been repaired a few times from what I've heard.
You can hear the roar of the crowd. It's pretty cool. Avalon wins it, the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships. Once again, Eric Wolf, I appreciate everything you did for this broadcast. And, you know, with the radio you had us, we knew what was going on. Jack Brooks, you supported the Beach Patrol, you and the Ocean City Beach Patrol Lifeguard Alumni Association. Thanks for everything. I'll have one more Beach Patrol report next Saturday.
Sadly, we're down to the last, and I remember the first of the season, too. You know?
And of course, Dan Adams, I couldn't do it without you. You do a magnificent job, and I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, you know, and I just have to once again say thank you to Avalon, the city, the community, the mayor, council, whatever. But the Avalon Beach Patrol, you guys ran an unbelievable event here tonight. Hats off to you and the Beach Patrol for everything you did. And congratulations to Chief Wolf and the Avalon Beach Patrol for the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Champions.
I also want to thank Josh Henning back in the studio. If it wasn't for Josh, we would not be on the air. And, of course, on-site producer here with us, Nate Holleran.
Nate did a fantastic job.
Did he? I mean,
he makes us sound good.
I thought Eric had us so close to the water we were going to be underwater by the finish of the singles.
Billy, Dan, Jack, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Signing off, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Yep. All right, there's going to be big parties tonight. Now, it's not a Friday night, Jack Brooks or Dan Adams, but it's a Monday night, but you know the people here in Avalon are going to be having some fun.
I think they'll be at the rocking chair or something.
I don't think it matters what day of the week it is here in Avalon.
All right, I want to thank our sponsors once again, McCann Realtors of Sea Isle City. Give them a call for mortgage, sales, rentals, investments, appraisals, 609-263-7422. Blitz's Market in Ocean City. We want to thank them. Dave and Joe Newman, 609-399-9983. Manco and Manco Pizza, the first and last name in pizza since 1965. Soda Sisters Flavored Fizz. Leeds Builders of Margate. Give them a call at 609-822-4506. And by Famous Dino's Pizza and Subs of Margate since 1946. Give them a call at 609-822-6602. Once again, you're listening to 97.3 ESPN's live broadcast of the 2025 South Jersey Lifeguard Championships. Once again, I want to thank Dan Adams, yeoman's work, great job. Jack Brooks and Eric Wolf. I will be on the air this Saturday for the Locker Room with Billy Schweim, and I'll have the results of the Gowdy races on Friday night. We'll be right back at it on Friday, and then Saturday, Jack Brooks. It's my last Beach Patrol report of the year, but time flies when you're having fun.
That's well, it is, and I think you are so unique in what you bring to South Jersey. You know, there's a lot of people that are broadcast, but you're the guy. So,
all right, everybody.
Schweim, hats off, Billy.
Thank you so much. We'll see you at the races.
Hey, South Jersey, this is Billy Schweim. Tune into the Locker Room every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon on 97.3 ESPN. Each weekend in the Locker Room, you will get passionate sports talk from a fan's perspective, along with interviews with some of the biggest names in sports. That's every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon in the Locker Room with me, Billy Schweim, on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner.